Imagine this. You wake up one morning and realize you are a stranger to yourself. The job you work, the relationships you maintain, the dreams you once had, all feel like echoes of someone else's life. You have followed the script handed to you by parents, teachers, and society, believing that one day it would all make sense. But it never did. Now, an unsettling thought creeps in. What if the person you were meant to be, the one burning with vitality, purpose, and raw authenticity, was buried beneath layers of conditioning? What if you have been playing a role so convincingly that you forgot it was just a role? Nietzsche once warned of this silent tragedy. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. But what happens when you don't know your why? When your existence is merely a reaction to external pressures rather than an expression of your deepest self? If you have ever felt this gnawing unease, you are not alone. And yet most people never dare to confront it. They continue sleepwalking through life, afraid to ask the one question that could shatter their illusions. Who were you born to be before the world told you who to become? And more importantly, how do you reclaim that lost self? The tragedy is not that you lost yourself, it's that you never truly met yourself to begin with. From the moment you took your first breath, society began shaping you, molding you into something it could recognize, categorize, and control. Expectations wrapped around you like invisible chains. Be agreeable, follow the rules, chase security, not passion. Nietzsche called this the herd mentality, the quiet suffocation of individuality under the weight of collective norms. But this conditioning runs deeper than just societal pressure. Carl Jung spoke of the persona, the mask we wear to navigate the world. Over time, we mistake the mask for our true face. The authentic self, the one with wild dreams, untamed curiosity, and raw desires, becomes buried beneath years of adaptation. And so, a dangerous illusion is born. You believe you are choosing your path when in reality you are merely following a preordained script. Every decision, your career, your relationships, your ambitions, is shaped by forces you never questioned. But here's the terrifying part. The longer you wear the mask, the harder it becomes to remove. What if, after all these years, you are not just hiding your true self, but have forgotten how to find it? What happens when a person spends a lifetime wearing a mask? The answer is insidious, because the decay of the true self is not an explosion, it is erosion. You do not wake up one day in existential despair. You fade into it, one compromise at a time. The signs are subtle but relentless. A creeping dissatisfaction that no achievement can silence, a sense of emptiness that no distraction can fill. You chase goals that were never truly yours, only to find them hollow once attained. Relationships feel performative. Success feels undeserved. Even moments of happiness feel detached, as though you are watching someone else live your life. Schopenhauer warned of this quiet misery. Most men pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that they hurry past it. This is the curse of the lost self. You keep running, hoping that meaning lies just over the next horizon. But it never does. Because the problem was never the path you took. It was who was walking it. And the longer you suppress your true nature, the greater the cost. Not just regret, but something far worse. The slow, agonizing realization that you never truly lived at all. Unless you decide to rebel. Rebellion is not about defiance for its own sake. It is about reclaiming what was stolen. To break free, you must commit the ultimate act of courage, to become yourself, fully and unapologetically. But this is no simple task. The world has trained you to be predictable, to fit neatly into roles that keep society running smoothly. To step outside of that is to invite chaos. Yet, as Nietzsche declared, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. So where do you begin? Not with blind destruction, but with deep introspection. Strip away every assumption, every borrowed belief. Ask yourself, what desires have I suppressed? What dreams have I abandoned out of fear? Who would I be if I were not afraid of judgment? The truth is, you are not trapped. You have simply forgotten the exits. Look to those who have walked this path before. The artists, the philosophers, the rebels who chose authenticity over comfort. Their lives were not easy, but they were real. And now, standing at the threshold of change, you must make a choice. Do you continue playing a role written for you? Or do you finally step into the life you were meant to live? Here is the truth that few dare to accept. You were never meant to find yourself. You were meant to create yourself. Nietzsche did not speak of a preordained destiny waiting to be uncovered. He spoke of becoming, of forging your own meaning, your own identity, your own reason for existence. The person you were born to be is not written in the stars. It is yours to sculpt with fire and will. This is where most falter. They search for external validation, a cosmic sign, a path neatly laid before them. But the great secret is this: there is no path. You must carve it yourself. And yes, it will be terrifying. To step into your own power is to abandon every illusion of safety, to stand alone in the face of the unknown. But what is the alternative? To live a life dictated by others, to remain caged by invisible expectations. The time for hesitation has passed. The time for awakening is now. So ask yourself with absolute urgency, if I refuse to become who I was meant to be, who else will do it for me?